everyone is focusing on is Shanahan versus Fangio, because that's where the glitz is, right? It's an all-time offensive mind versus an all-time defensive mind.
Right.
The one that could decide the game, though, is Saleh versus Patullo. Because if Robert Saleh is given a lot of credit for being a really good defensive coordinator. Now, I don't know that he's gotten a lot out of that defense this year. I don't know that it's fair to judge him on it either way.
Well, you don't have the players.
They've missed players, you know. But if Saleh, and the Eagles have seen Robert Saleh before. You know, they've seen his defenses with the Niners. They saw his defense with the Jets. If Robert Saleh figures out a way to flummox the Eagles, being down the number of players that he is down, I think it'll say a lot both ways. I think there's more to lose for Kevin Patullo on Sunday than there is to gain. I think if the Eagles end up playing well, people will just say, well, they didn't have the players on San Francisco's side. But if things go poorly, you know,
that almost double hurts
Kevin
Patullo, because you're saying when you're going up against an inferior defense, you should be able. Now, obviously, the game has to play itself out.
Sure.
It'd be interesting to see if that were to happen. Knock on wood, it doesn't. But if that were to happen, who are people focusing on more? The play design or the execution? Because, you know, Jalen's play comes under scrutiny, too.
Of course.
When that happens. The offense doesn't score points. They're looking at, okay, well, where did the quarterback, did he have opportunities? What did these plays look like? And there's been a few times this year where I think there's been a legitimate argument for the offense could be a little more diverse and be a little more complex if they added this or added that to it, and then they started to do some under-the-center stuff. And then there's also been times where the execution was poorly. You don't let the ball go when you're supposed to, throwing with anticipation or not being accurate. So, how this offense performs against this defense will solely come down to Patullo and then Jalen executing it.
Yeah, and I think a lot about the future of the franchise from an offensive perspective could be you know, if they lose the game 20-13 and we cannot move the ball, and you're the Eagles brass looking at this beaten down San Francisco defense that you had at home, I don't think. You know, you and Elliot have mentioned that at least in terms of consistency, having Patullo back is. But if they can't score against the Niners and they lose on Sunday, I don't see any way that you can have Patullo back.